2. So before we start reading, thank you for that recording, getting that going. God bless you, everybody. This is Brother Kevin. This is Thursday night. So we'll start doing now, as of this week, we'll start doing every Thursday. Every Thursday, those of you that can make it, those of you that it causes a problem, do not worry, don't fret. We just want to start speeding our people up with country living, sustainability, and preparation. As we get very, very close to the end, we see things happening now in rapid succession, really, really fast. So what's going to be happening is that I'm going to be on Sunday at 3:30 a.m. with the UK, with England, Great Britain, and they're requesting that we help boost their people up. So I want to give you guys a little insight on what's going on. If you didn't watch Midday Power Surge, things are happening very quick. You got King Charles reaching out to the Pope and inviting the Pope to England and to Great Britain. It's been over 500 years since the Pope been there. Remember the Reformation when Napoleon sent his general to take Pope Pius and take him out of power, take the Pope out of power, and they killed him. He died. And the Bible says it was issued a deadly wound. Then, later, present truth now, the Bible says they see the small horn as if it was healed, the wound, deadly wound as if it was healed, bringing them back in. And we've seen that. We're seeing rapid wars, rumors of wars. In Russia, they just tested the nuclear weapon after Trump said what he said yesterday. So Russia just tested the nuclear weapons. We've just sent airplanes over to South America. China's doing what China's doing with nuclear weapons. They just saw a landing strip just opened up out of the ocean in the island. It's like raised up, a landing strip raising up out of the ocean. So we're seeing lots of scary things, but the Bible tells us that's not the end. That's just the beginning of sorrows. So that tells us we have to get right now, because we're also seeing things happen in rapid succession. When they say peace in the Middle East, it says when they say peace, it won't be peace. So look out to that. Woe unto that. So we know we have to move. Now we look at we call them link cards here, or they call them debit cards and EV cards and SNAP cards. They got all kinds of names that they use for that. Government subsidies, that those things are going to be shut down. There's none available for the 1st of November if this for a lot of the states, if this peace doesn't hold out. Well, it's just not SNAP now. They announced that there's benefits to all the states, all the public assistance. They're going to try to cut that out. But the Bible already told us this, so it's not a shocker to us. We're just seeing it happen in rapid succession. So what I'm asking people to do, and it's just me talking, is I'm saying right now is that we start to team up and work with other people in a different way. Stop being selfish. Work with people in a different way to get ourselves ready for the coming of Christ and assist others. That's one of the requirement things that we have. We have to be able to assist others. We just have to. It puts me in the mind of everybody sitting at the ship when Noah's the animals are coming in the ark, 2 by 2. The 120 years have passed. We're getting down to that last time frame, and the animals are coming to the ark. The animals are coming into the ark 2 by 2, and the people still sitting there on the grass. We see that happening in our time. We see the animals coming into the ark in our time. We cannot be like the people sitting on the grass watching Noah and watching the animals. We got to know that something is differently in this world. So we got to know that. With us knowing that the animals are going on the ark 2 by 2, we got to make sure we get on the ark with the animals. Even if we got to butt the zebra, get in front of the zebra. If we got to get in front of the lions, the tigers, the bears, oh my, we have to get on the ark. If that makes sense, okay? So we just can't sit around and act like we don't see what's going on in rapid succession, all the events and things that's happening. So we got to jump on that. At this time, I'm going to thank everybody for coming on board. So every Thursday we'll do Zooms. We got a lot going on. We're going to be able to help people with to be self-sustaining in these last days, okay? So get ready for that. And with that being that, I'm going to need my reader. We're going to go through as best we can chapter 1. But before I do that, I would like to get a testimony or two. So if somebody's got a testimony, go ahead and unmute and give me that, please.
Yeah, I just want to thank God for blessing me with traveling mercies in the country in North Carolina. We got deer and all kind of animals running across the road. We got crazy drivers, and even here in Massachusetts, bless me to make it here safely. So I'm just glad every time He allows me to leave home and get back safely and in one piece.
Thank you. God bless you. Just take your time. Traveling grace and mercy. We're on the road too. We ask for traveling grace and mercy. Our God is just awesome. Our God is just awesome. He just blessed us with so much. We were out the country property with the contractors, and brother, we getting to see rapid change. God really, when God get into blessed business, He get into blessed business, and we're actually seeing rapid change, and not just in our home, but we see it. I'm saying we seeing it in the world, but we seeing it in our home how things are coming to fruition with country property. You guys gonna hear the babies in the background. That little man, that's my John. He's on all the videos. But we're seeing rapid change in our property and seeing how much more we appreciate it. But now we know what's going on in the cities. So we got to start helping others. We got to reach out to other people. And if you're saying you don't have enough funds, if you're saying you can't get to the country, there are older people. There are older people that you can match up with and help each other and seek things together. We can do that. That is something that we have to consider. Okay, so that is something that you have to consider. That we can match up and help each other with that. So reach out to more people. Match up with the Tap Match app. Those kinds of things. We got another testimony, real quick.
I do, Father Kevin. I
You're
do.
welcome. A little louder so we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just try a little bit louder for me if you can.
Let me see if I got the volume correctly. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mhm. So, it was October the 3rd. So I was in my bedroom and my son was in his bedroom and the cat was in the bedroom. And one cat stood out here in the living room. So while I was packing to go to Puerto Rico because my father passed away, 5 bullets went through my window. And praise God, we did not get hit.
Visit SiriusXM.
Excuse me?
Say that one more time.
I said I was in the bedroom. One of the cats was in the bedroom with Matthew. So we were both in the bedroom. So he was in his bedroom, I was in my bedroom. And I had a cat that was out in the living room. So what happened was 5 bullets came through the house. It was a drive-by shooting. Can you hear me, Brother Kevin?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Drive-by shooting, but praise God, none of us didn't get hit.
Oh, that's enough. Hold on a minute. Bear with me, you all. There we go. I got it. Hey, I had to get it right, everybody. Go ahead. God bless you.
Yeah, did you hear my testimony?
Yeah, you had a situation there. I'm just grateful to God. Everything is good.
Yes.
It's life is special. Let's put it that way. There's so many people going through. There's so much going on right now. We don't even know where to turn or where to go. This. Thank you, sister. It's. Go ahead.
My father had passed away and I was packing going to Puerto Rico.
Right.
I don't know, you remember that I had told you.
Yeah, you told me you were going.
Yes.
Go with me now. I can hear you.
Before me going there, that's what took place here in Chicago. So where it hit the glass window to the wall.
I can't hear you.
Okay. So it hit the window, it hit the shade, and it hit the
Yes.
curtain, and it hit the wall.
So it was a drive-by.
Yeah. 5
Am I getting it?
5 bullets. And the window
Wow.
did not shatter at all. It went through the same hole.
God is awesome. God is awesome. God is awesome. That's really a miracle. I mean, how many people die of sitting in their home? The little girl, I still remember the young girl was sitting there eating dinner at the dinner table, and a bullet came through and struck her in front of her family, killed her dead. Children laying in their beds, and the bullets come through and just take them out. Nobody knows what happened. What a blessing. God has you here for a reason. And again, my condolences for your dad. I do remember hearing that when that happened. And I'm grateful you got back here, but we're grateful that God spared your life, and He did that for a reason. There's a lot. This is a time for seasons. This is a time and season for miracles, for deliverance, for healing. I wonder why. When Christ said that when I'm gone, you'll be able to do the things I do and greater. We should be able to hear people, heal people. We should get back to healing. Christ raised people from the dead. You don't hear about that now unless somebody trying to pull off a scam. Christ is saying that we can do great things. So He's still doing great things for us. We can do greater things as well for each other. So I'm glad you're here. So you're here for a reason to do great things, my sister. And Matthew, you guys are here to do great things. So be encouraged, stay strong. Do you hear me?
I will. Praise God, I will. And all this.
Now we got to work on getting you. Now we got to work on getting you up to Wisconsin.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Brother Kevin.
Amen. So, all right, who can read me the first? Who can go over the start reading for me? Chapter 1. The book is Country Living, just about everything.
I got it.
All right, thank you so much.
You can read it if you want me to.
What you're gonna have to do for me? I know it don't make sense to you, but I'm on the road, so I can hardly hear you. I'm gonna need you to elevate that voice for me. Get that Kevin bass voice in there.
I will. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Okay. New to country living. Welcome to country living. Transitioning from a suburban environment to rural living can be an exciting, rewarding experience, but it also comes with unique challenges and opportunities. Here are some keys things to consider and helpful tips for adapting to your new country lifestyle. Embrace self-sufficiency, gardening, and growing your own food. Start learning how to grow fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Country living often offers space for gardening, which can provide fresh, organic produce for your household. Begin with easy-to-grow crops like tomatoes, lettuce, and beans.
Thank you. Okay, hold right there. So thank you. You're going to continue in a minute. I just want to go each point by point real quick. It's a beautiful thing when, first of all, getting to the country, when you really step and look back and see how much space you have in the city, or you had in the city, and then you in the country, you can stand and you can look around and you can't look directly into somebody else's window. That's going to be an awesome feeling. You all are in Chicago and you know how close the houses are to each other. You all that's in the cities, you all know how close all the houses are to each other, the windows are to each other. You can literally climb out one window into the next window without touching the ground in a lot of cases. But to be in the country and feel the surreal, it's how real it is, surreal or real it is actually for you to know that now this is the space God has given you. And then you can plant food in the ground and grow food and see food come up in abundance. And don't have to worry about it. Somebody going to steal it, or are you in trouble for having it, or not? You have the space to grow it. It's going to be such a real feeling. So be ready to get to the country. Be ready to embrace the opportunities you have now to gather your seeds. Gather your seeds. Kay Watkins is on here, our sister that talks a lot about growing, and a lot of other people on it does a lot of growing. You're going to be excited. You're going to be so excited when you see your plants come out the ground, how beautiful your food is. I planted lettuce this year. I didn't do good at all. And then Kay gets on here with like these 6-pounders look like the big heads of lettuce and cabbage or whatever. So it's going to be a good feeling for you. But God had this laid out from the beginning. We serve a God that tells us the end from the beginning, and we should be self-sustaining. So he's putting it back in the garden. So the country land now is going to serve a whole bunch of purposes for you, your family, and those that you can help. It's going to be a center of refuge for your belly as well, not just for you and spiritually, but also for your belly. So it's going to be an awesome feeling when you get to the country, okay? And start growing lettuce. The first thing you do when you get there, if you can, after you walked your property, checked everything out, start planting. Thank you. Go to the next one for me, please.
Okay. Preserving food.
Preparing.
Canning,
Yeah,
yeah. Canning, drying, and freezing homegrown produce will help you store food for the off season. Learning these skills can increase your self-reliance. Get to know your name.
How awesome that is. You know how awesome that is to be able to can it. And if you got food for 2, 3 to 4 to 5 years, that's going to be such an awesome feeling. And then, real quick, I mean to cut you. Can what you like. Can what you're going to eat. Can what you're going to eat. I knew a pastor, he used to say all the time, he said, get all you can and can all you get. And we didn't know what that meant back in the day. Get all you can and can all you get. And we didn't know what that meant till we got to knowing about canning and preserving. Get all the food you can get. Consider, the Bible says, consider the ant. When the season is right and the spring breaks through, the ant shows up. He starts canning immediately. He starts canning and preserving right away. So that's what this is country living. That's what it's telling us to do. Preserve this food, not just for yourself, but for others too. So get all you can and can all you get, except for what you need to eat right then and there. Go ahead.
Get to know your land. Understand the terrain. Exploring your identify with quality and is somebody else talking on the?
Say that one. I can't hardly hear you. I'm trying to see if, can you hear me?
You were breaking up a little bit, Margarita. You were breaking up.
Can we swap some of Margarita so we don't put so much pressure on it? Do we got somebody else that can read for me?
Okay.
I can read if you want me to read.
Yes, let's give her a little break for a bit. Thank you,
Okay,
Margarita.
I'm gonna pick up where
Get
where
to-
she was reading and get to know your land. It
Correct.
says understand the terrain. Spend time exploring your property. Identify water sources, soil quality, and the types of plants and wildlife present. This will help you plan your garden, manage resources, and protect the environment.
Do we need to say more? That's kind of self-explanatory, but it's going to be very important that even before you buy your land, as you look at land, as a matter of fact, I was just talking with UK about that, saying the same thing as you look at land in various states. Get to know your land even before you go there. Especially if you get land out of another state, there's a way you can do topical views with Google Earth and different software and AI software they got now. You can literally look down on your land and get to view those areas and see what everything looks like. And then you can check the history of your land. And then when you actually get out to walk the land, walk the terrain, know your flood tables, know what area you're in, what kind of trees you have, know your ins and outs. Is there a back way off my property? You want to know that, but you want to know where your planting areas is, or your tilling space, and then your flat space you're just going to live on. All those kinds of things. So get familiar with your land. And then when you know how to take care, you recognize your land, you know how to take care of it. You have the soil testing and all those things. Those kind of things help you guys make things better for you. Thanks, Kay.
And another thing about the soil testing, just want to bring this up, it's very important, especially right now. If you're buying property and you say, well, I'm not going to grow anything to spring, don't do that. Test your soil and go ahead and condition your soil now. So when the spring comes, it'll flourish.
That's going to be awesome.
Improve the land. Depending on your needs, you may need to build fences, clear land, or set up outbuildings like barns or sheds. Focus on making small, manageable improvements that enhance the functionality of your property.
So that gives you an insight on how immediately you want to take advantage on your land. When we bought our land, the gentleman had already drawn out a blueprint. This was going to be his retirement property, right? It was 6 acres then. Since it became 8 acres because they retired an old road that used to be there, so they gave us an extra 2 acres. Another blessing from God. But he had already laid out a plan to do 5 houses on this 8 acres for his grandchildren, that kind of thing. So, but then he started building. He put a barn up and another shed, for his horses he had there and his chickens, all that kinds of things. So he started to improve the land. And one of the first things that we thought to do ourselves was, have new garage, put that up, and sheds and workshops, those kinds of things. Make the land comfortable for you, so you don't have to go places to get things. You can store things there. You can, again, make it useful. So make your land useful, because there's going to be a point of no buy, no sale. And as much as you can store, if you can build your own workshop, studio, sewing room, sheet, excuse me, she shed, all those things. Make the land better. Even with water, if you can put in a hand pump or sandpoint well, downrange, those kinds of things. Make the land better immediately because that may be the place you're at. That's going to be the place you have for the rest of your life. So immediately start to improve that land and see what's there. Fencing may be required, security issues, all those things, but know the ins and outs of your land as well. Thank you, Kay.
Build essential skills, basic repairs and maintenance. Country life often means less immediate access to professional services. So, learning basic DIY skills such as plumbing, carpentry, or vehicle maintenance will be very helpful. Have a set of tools like a hammer, a saw, wrench, screwdriver, and pliers ready for everyday fixes.
Listen, I can tell you guys on numerous occasions. My 9-year-old's right here with me. That's my resale buddy, my flea market buddy. We went to when we first got up to the Northwoods. Oh, actually, it's been living in the Northwoods where our new country property is. We actually saw a free. I can't say it was a garage sale. It was a house giveaway sale. It wasn't even a sale. They wasn't charging for anything. We literally picked up tools. I'm talking pry bars, wrenches, tools, gun cleaning kits, anything you can name, thread, zippers, the whole sewing kits. We picked up stuff that people wouldn't think to grab. But there's going to be a time where those little minor things, that you took for granted, that's going to become so very important. I was at a sale in Chicago or in Beloit, Wisconsin, and a gentleman had hand saws, and I had a bunch of lights that I was selling from when I had my store. I said, hey, I'll trade you a couple of these lights for those saws. He says, 7 saws. He said, you'll give me all those lights? I said, yep. He said, here. And he gave me a couple more saws. But those hand saws were more important to me because I had cases of the lights. So he gave me hand saws, the turn drills, the old drills you used to turn and rotate, those kinds of drills, hand drills, all kinds of things that we put together, sanding paper, all those things, chisels and screwdriver, hand tools. You'll need those. Christ was a carpenter. They didn't have anything electric, but they made things. They made chairs, they made tables, they made furniture, they made things, okay? So keep in mind that you want to learn the skills. And then the last thing real quick is YouTube Downloader. Get yourself a YouTube downloader software anywhere from $19 to like $39 and buy you an external hard drive. I tell you guys this all the time. You can download all those videos my sister just named on carpentry, electricity, education, doctoring, how to deliver a baby, how to treat burns, how to fix any kind of car. All those videos, even high school, from 0 to 12th grade and college. There's courses that's free on YouTube. Excuse me. Download those videos, put them on a hard drive. So have resources for yourself. Educate yourself. Thank you, Kay.
Another thing, in addition to that, go to your local libraries. You have books, 25 cents, 50 cents, a dollar. A lot of the do-it-yourself books are in your local libraries. Go in there, purchase those books for cheap, and you'll have them on hand. So if something happens and you don't have a backup for a laptop or a cell phone, you still have the physical book that you can refer to, and it's cheap.
And it's cheap. Yeah, we see that all the time when we hit the libraries. And one more thing added to that case, since you're sending them to the libraries, a lot of your libraries have free seeds, everyone. Free seeds. Free seeds. They got a seed library. Most of the library, ask about it when you get there. Free seeds. Get them.
And you know what? I want to also encourage you guys, start your own seed library.
Yep.
Start it. Invite your neighbors. Start your own.
If you're buying organic
Uh,
food, my sister said, save your seeds if you're buying organic. If you know it's organic, save the seeds, because if it's truly organic, the seeds will regrow. So like she said, start your own seed library. Very important. Very important. Very important.
Firewood and heating. If your new home relies on wood for heating, learn how to chop, split, and store firewood properly. It is essential to keep a dry stockpile for colder months.
Now, the key thing with wood that a lot of people miss, especially if you're new to the country, I hear the sad story that 2 women followed the writings of Ellen G. White, and what people were saying, flee to the mountains, but nobody gave them training. And unfortunately, they froze to death by fleeing to the country, not knowing how to survive during the winters. Even if you're in Tennessee or Georgia, you can still get a freezing winter. Remember, seasons are different. Seasons are changing. You can get a freezing winter. You can't make it through the night freezing. So you must prepare. So you want to put your, you want to make sure if you're burning a full, if you got a cord of wood. I asked my neighbors, how much wood did you burn this year? They said, well, usually we do 5 cords of wood, like full truckloads of wood. I said, but this year we did 7. It's talking about the previous year. So this time they're going to stock up on at least 7 to 9 cords of wood. Then you might want to make sure you also have that close to the house. And then you want to chop those down to different sizes, because in your house, you should have nice kindling where you can strike one match, and that little small piece of kindling that can catch fire, and the wood should be so dry enough where you put them in the proper order in the fireplace or the wood burning stove where it all starts to fire. You shouldn't have to do 3, 4, 5, 6 matches or put lighter fluid on it and all those kinds of things. But keep your dry wood in the house and different sizes, okay? All the way down, all the way up to your big full logs once the fire is roaring. Get those logs on the fire. And then right outside the door, before you go outside, you should have more wood right by the door, and then outside the door on the porch, and then next to the house, and then some just a few steps over. But make sure they're all covered. All your wood is covered from the top so that it doesn't get wet. It's not moist. It can be cold, but it can't be wet or moist, because that's when you start to get the smoke in the house. So make sure you secure your wood in the spring and summer to make sure you got plenty of wood for the winter. If you're chopping down new trees, the wood needs time to dry out and cure. Green wood don't burn that well. Smoke you out of the house is not good for you. So make sure you guys take care of that as well.
Water management. If you're on well water, understanding how your system works and how to maintain it is critical.
Yes, it
Learn
is.
learn about testing and filtering water for safety.
When the house we bought had a brand new well, had a well that had not been done. As a matter of fact, the previous owner put a brand new well, brand new septic in. However, he had not put a well pump in. So I paid the $3,000 to have the well pump and the well tank put in. And for a while, we let our water run. We started noticing oil coming up. And sure enough, we had to let that run for so long before that, because again, we haven't had it hooked up to the house yet, because the house wasn't done on the inside. We had to let that run a long time. And you can't take baths in that water. You can't do certain things. So you have that water tested and know what's in the water, because it's been underground for a while. So make sure you let that water run till it looks clean and good to you. And then there are test kits you can order from Amazon to help you test that water. And then depends on which state you're in. As you contact the water services, they got agencies that will come out and test your water for free, let you know the iron content, what chemicals are in your water, if it's good to go, those kinds of things. And then, you got your filter systems and your reverse osmosis, those kinds of things. But do not waste any water at all if you can, please. And then one more quick thing about water, Kay, is I'll tell everyone is make sure that you guys also establish a sand point well on your land in a different spot, or make sure you have a solar backup. Because I got an electric pump in my well, but you should have a solar backup for several reasons. In the event the grid gets compromised, or you just simply want to go off grid, if you got a solar backup plus a sandpoint well, then you got other ways of getting water. Water needs to be preserved. You can also catch water with rain barrels, run that through filter systems. You can stack 6, 8 rain barrels. Look on YouTube, that's happening. Plus, we're going to be showing you a lot more on how to do all that fun stuff. Thank you.
Adapt to the quiet and solitude. Adjust to slower pace. Country life tends to move at a slower pace with fewer distractions and external noise. This can be an opportunity to embrace a more relaxed, peaceful lifestyle. Use this time to focus on hobbies, families, and nature.
Isn't that awesome? It's easier just 24/7 almost. You don't know if it's duck, run, recover, celebrate, what's going on. The country's different. On yesterday, we had going to Walmart. It takes us an hour to get to Walmart. My wife said, that looks like a bald eagle. Bald eagle just flying around, come sit right down in the tree. Such a beautiful thing to see nature. Bald eagles, the full bald eagle that's come sit right down and hang out. And you don't see that in Chicago. Bald eagle be like, y'all ain't finna get me. But we were driving, doing a back road, doing a tour. I saw a cougar, large cougar going on across the road. It was just awesome. It was awesome. I'm like, wow. I mean, it was far enough away. It wasn't an issue for us. Plus, it wasn't in the direct area or vicinity we live in. But it's nature. And then the wife and the daughters, they're coming down. They see the little animal, like a little baby bear, just walking down the road, that kind of thing. And a couple of weeks ago, I'm going in to do the Zoom. Matter of fact, on Grants. And I pull out onto the road and I go down a little ways. I said, what is this coming on our YouTube page? And it's a herd of cows literally coming down the road. And I let my window down, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, where are you guys going to get back home? You broke out trying to. I said, turn around and go back before I start eating meat again. They turned around immediately on cue and went back. You saw them squeeze right into the fence. It was so funny. And they had traffic just backed up. But nature is beautiful. You know, you don't know what to expect, but the feelings are awesome. And then the air, the atmosphere, it's awesome. And you can expect to see something awesome every day, to include God's refreshing.
Connect with neighbors.
Okay.
In the country, neighbors are often more spread out, but community ties can be strong. Introduce yourself to nearby families and be open to building friendships and helping each other out. Can I add on to this? Can I elaborate
You
on this
sure
one?
can. You sure can.
Oh, okay, so this is very important because we're not in the country to hide. You know, we have a message that we have to spread. But start your bartering system immediately when you move out to
Immediately.
the country. And let me explain immediately. Excuse me, guys. Let me explain this. When you go out, the first thing that we have is this message. We have the health message, right? The health reform. This is going to be your bargaining too. Your everybody knows somebody that's sick or everybody has been sick, right? So this is
Yes.
what we're using. This is my first line of bartering with my neighbors. You don't know who has a tractor, who has a backhoe, who has all types of machines. When you make someone feel better, when you help someone to feel better, not just physically, but spiritually, guess what happens? They come back over and over and over, and they're ready to assist you. They open the doors to other people. They start to introduce you. Not only that, the ones who have properties, there are a lot of people who have properties who are sick and dying. They will
Yes.
offer those to you because they love what you're doing before they'll go and put it on the market for a realtor.
Um,
They'll say, hey, I have this property. This is when you go get your brother and your sister and you say, hey, y'all, there's a property available. Come. And that's actually saving money all the way around, but it's also building your resources in the area.
it does. It does. It does, Kay. Thank you, Kay. Because listen, we got an awesome neighbor down the. We saw a property down the street that the river runs right into the yard. They got a dock there and everything. And I said I would love to go to that property. So I was talking with my neighbor. Matter of fact, he knew who we were when we got there. He said, "I heard you're some kind of preacher or minister or something." And we got talking all kinds of fun. He said, "We're living in the last 6,000 years." I'm like, "Whoa!" That shocked me. That's when I first heard that from him, of somebody when we got up there. And sure enough, I was talking to him one day about an area I saw up the road. It's got a beautiful dock. He said, "Oh, you can go there, get in the yard, go in and get on in the dock, put your kayaks in anytime you want." He said, "That's Mom's house," and it was his mom's property. He said, "Yeah, she's been gone for 2 years. Go down there anytime you want." And sure enough, we thank God for that for one because it was awesome. So we took our Sabbath walk down just to hang out on the dock and feel God's refreshing. It was a spiritual thing, but we made connection with the neighbors, and immediately it was just a blessing. So let them know who you are and who you stand for and what you stand for, and they'll appreciate you.
Learn to enjoy solitude. If you're used to city living, the quietness of country life may feel unfamiliar at first. Take time to enjoy the peace by walking in nature, meditating, or engaging in outdoor activities like hiking. When you first
Yep,
move to the country, it is deafening. I will tell you that. It is so quiet. So when you move from a noisy place like we did from Atlanta to a country rural area, oh man, it takes time to adjust.
it does.
Um, but like the book says, it says take time to go out, meditate. You will begin to enjoy it.
It will, but don't do what I did. Don't do what Brother Kevin did the other week. Okay, don't put a watermelon in your backpack.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw that video because we were taking a hike because there's a lot of waterfalls in Wisconsin, beautiful waterfalls. We're at the top of the country, literally, and there's so many beautiful waterfalls. It isn't funny. And you just drive in, and then there's path and tracks and trails. So I knew I was gonna want a piece of cold fruit, and So we just put a watermelon in my backpack so everybody could make the trip. But then, once in a while I have to carry John, and we had to go up so high to get to the lookout point, and that was a challenge. By the time I took that backpack off, all my clothes was wet, just wet from sweat. But the trip was awesome. So take the hike and enjoy yourself. Just don't put a watermelon in your backpack. But you'll get to see things that you don't see in the city, things you only see on television in the movies. Rarely, because the most television don't show all the serenity, but the realism here, that you can actually feel it and touch nature, be it on top of above the tree line and see what God has. It's beautiful. And if any, people say, I want to go to Paris, I want to go here before I die. Look where you are in the country and look what's here. There's so many beautiful things here we don't get to see. So enjoy yourself wherever you are.
Prepare for
Go
the
ahead, Kate.
different seasons. Winter preparations. If you're in a region with harsh winters, make sure your home is prepared. Insulate properly, stock up on essentials, and have a reliable heating source. Snow removal tools and backup generators may be necessary.
It's awesome. So I had several reviews on my book. If you guys go through, and through the grace of God, my beautiful wife, a team, this is an awesome book. And I had several reviews on my book, but I had one review that said this book was absolutely no help to them at all. And I couldn't take that as a negative review because that just told me they had done all this already. They had everything that's there. But there is so much essential things in this book that blesses people who know nothing about country living. And so I got a review from Brother Brad. I did a review and said this is one of the most helpful guides that he's ever read. Because if you consider, people don't typically think, what do we got to do to prepare for the winter? They go get the shovel ready, get their boots ready, and get get some salt to throw down on. But in the country, it's totally different. I mean, there's a lot of things you have to do, even like bringing things closer to the house for one. Knowing where equipment is, knowing what, how you're going to get rid of snow, signing up finding a contractor, somebody that can move snow, because a lot of times when you're in the country, we're not a long ways from the road, but we have a long driveway. You know what I mean? If your car's way back up in there, you can't shovel that long driveway. If you've been in the city with snow and it comes down 2, 3, 4 feet, and then you got to do 2, 3, 4 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet long, it's going to be some kind of winter for you. So you got to prepare for that. You got to have snow moving equipment. You got to have firewood. You got to have backup food, water. Areas where if your pump's going to freeze, if you only have a hand pump well and it's going to freeze, you got to find a way to make sure that's closed in the spring and summer. Make sure you have a pump house, a heated water house that'll keep that pump from freezing, that kind of thing. So for your solar backup and stuff, have a warm house that keeps those things from freezing. So consider the seasons, and then the food you have stored, all those things, what you're going to store to get you through those seasons. So there's a lot there to consider. So make sure you guys look at the seasons. There's a lot here that'll help you out. Thank you, Kay.
Gardening and farming seasons. Country living is often tied to the seasons. Plan your gardening, farming, or outdoor activities around the changing weather. Learn about planting cycles and how to protect crops from frost or droughts.
There you got it. So, Kay, you know about this. You do a lot of planting there in Tennessee. You have to consider the seasons, know what you're doing, know what you're planting, when to plant. Set up a greenhouse, a green tube, all those things. The country gives you more space to set up things, and it gives you time to practice with things. That's an awesome piece you can do. With those blue, you got those blue barrels, those disposable barrels. You guys see the big 55-gallon barrels. Make sure they're food grade. And a lot of cases, some cases you can get those for free. Some cases you can get them between $6, $10, even $15. You can make your own raised beds if you got rocky areas or if you're not familiar with the soil. There's tons of ways you can design those barrels to grow with them and do different foods in the barrels and stuff like that. Get to know your areas, when to plant, how to plant, all those kinds of things. But as far as gardening, you can just enjoy yourself and experiment as you learn. But there's some good books. Ellen G. White has a lot of insight on planting. There's some almanacs that people look at to know the seasons, know what zones you're in, all those kinds of things. And it usually tells you when your planting season is. And you can start early in the house. You can start in the kitchen window. You really can. And you can get things rolling. So just be on the lookout for that. Be aware of that.
Adapt to limited services. Grocery shopping. You may have to travel further for groceries or supplies, so plan ahead and buy in bulk when possible. Keep a well-stocked pantry of essential items.
Go to also use websites like Bulk Apothecary while you can. while you can, because all this stuff's going to be limited. Amazon had a major hack of this past week. Amazon had a major hack. It affected the government. It affected TikTok. It affected a lot of the different websites. I didn't know Amazon represented that many particular websites, and it was down for a while. At some point, you're going to lose access to being able to buy things in bulk. Walmart supplies you with things that you can get, but while we can, let's get these things in bulk so we don't have to go to depend on a Walmart, because food doesn't grow in Walmart. And then you don't want to have to go to Walmart 2, 3, 4 times a day like some people do, 2, 3 times a day. If you can, you want to make it so you can go there once a month. So you need to make sure you're stocked up. And believe it or not, if you can find yourself to limit yourself to Walmart once a month, maybe twice, you're going to save a significant amount of money, because not only do you save money on not having to go all the time buying all that product, you save money on gas, because again, we're an hour from Walmart and it's a long drive to get there. So buy things in bulk, do your recipes, figure out what you're going to cook for the week, and then figure out what you're going to cook for the second week. These will help. Those will let you know what seasonings and items you need to stock up on, okay? Beans and lentils and rice and all those kinds of things. Buy your spice in bulk, all those kinds of things that you can do. And that saves you trips on going to the store. And that family's not going to be happy all the time. You won't get cakes and pies. You can if you can. You can if you can. If you can preserves, you can get pies and cakes and or whatever you're cooking. But be prepared for that. Go ahead.
Internet and communication. Internet service may be slower or less reliable than in urban areas. Research available options such as satellite internet or local providers and prepare for possible outages.
We don't know how long we have, Kate, before we get these outages. Again, Amazon was just hacked the other day, and it was devastating. If you check the news back then, you guys see what's going on there. And I tell everybody this again: YouTube downloader. Okay, YouTube. How do I cook this? How do I grow this? How do I find this? How do I fix my car? How do I change a flat? How do I paint? How do I do concrete? How do I fix a broken arm? YouTube's going to bring all those videos up. When you have the YouTube downloader software, download the full library coming from that particular person, his website. You'll see all of his videos. Once you click his name, download all those into your external hard drive. In the event everything goes out where you can't get to the web, plug it into your tablet, because you bought solar chargers that can sit outside and charge. Watch all those videos and it'll show you how to get things going. I don't know if you guys know this. You can take a spark plug, connect those together with a piece of copper wire, and create energy. You can take a spark plug and a magnet, create energy. No battery. No battery. You can create it from a spark plug with a magnet. Look it up. You can make light bulbs come on with a spark plug and copper wire, a washer. Look it up. There's so many things that we can do. But once you find out about these things, download them, put them into your digital library, and then get you the Faraday bags and make a copy of that hard drive with all that good stuff on there. Put it in your Faraday bag and store it, because a Faraday bag, in the event we get an EMP, God forbid, we get an EMP blast, you open up that Faraday bag, pull out your tablet, pull out your little charger, pull out your external hard drive, and you the only one that can sit back now and go back and start reading the Bible digitally, or Ellen G. White, and then your YouTube videos digitally, when a lot of other people cannot. So prepare for that. You don't know when the internet's going to go out. So get your digital download on get yourself a YouTube downloader and an external hard drive. Thanks, Kay.
Healthcare and emergency services. Check the location of the nearest hospital, clinic, and emergency services. It's also a good idea to keep a well-stocked first aid kit and learn some basic first aid skills.
That's funny, because there's a young lady I know, and she sells these 3 Angels medical bags, and they come complete. They come with a suture kit, how to sew up skin. You get everything with this kit, and that's Kay, the one who's reading to you right now. So you guys reach out to her and challenge her. She sells those bags, by the way, and we do have one. I think our brother Matthew and his mom, who's just reading, has that as well, if I'm not mistaken. And it has okay. What's all in the 3 Angels medical kit?
So it is actually a working bag, right? So it's not
Yes.
something that you're just gonna sit on, y'all. You're gonna actually take it and you're gonna go out when you're talking to your neighbors and when you're helping people. So it has all of your basic machines, your blood pressure machines, your blood glucose meters, your oximeters, your If you hadn't
Everything.
asked me, I would. Your thermometers, it has your flashlight, it has tinctures and salves, oregano oil, cayenne pepper, it has your
Defibrillator.
activated, yeah, it has your activated charcoal. Oh, Matthew's holding up the bag right now.
There you go.
And it has a lot, it has so much stuff. I can't even think of everything that I put in there. Right now off the top, golden seal and echinacea tinctures. And the
Yep.
cool thing about it, oh, it has also has essential oils in it. The cool thing about it is that um it's all produced and made here on the country property.
There you got it. Thank you, my sister. You guys need to know that. So challenge case so you guys can order your bag, and we were blessed. We have ours. And it's awesome when you're traveling because you don't never know when there's an emergency. I remember one time I was on the road going to Florida for a trip, and a vehicle turned over in front of us, literally. And it's so sad because the children, I'm pulling children out of this vehicle. It was upside down. I'm pulling children out of this vehicle. I pulled the husband out. He was in the passenger seat. And then I go and had to cut his wife out of the seatbelt, but she, we lost her on the location there, literally. I had all my white clothes on and I'm just covered. But it was a sad thing. There was nothing we can do. They flew a helicopter in for her on the highway, and the helicopter had to leave empty because she was gone. But having that bag, we could have did something at least to stop the bleeding. It got split her head, those kinds of things. It's yucky. It's a bad thing. But when you have something in your car, when you have something in your car that can be a help to others, that's going to be a blessing for you. So get that first aid, put it in your car. And one more thing, while we mentioned that, Kay does sell those, you guys. Challenge her on that, and she'll put her link in the chat. Another thing, wintertime is coming for us here in Wisconsin and Illinois and all those states that get very cold winters. Put in the back of your car some sterno fluid like they use at the banquets. Put that in the back of your car with some stick matches or and those kinds of things, and the hand warmers and an extra set of clothes. Put those things in the back of your car because you get stuck on the highway or get stuck on the road. At least you can keep warm if the car doesn't start. So make sure you do that, and then prepare kids to give somebody else. And you can get that sterno fluid like at a Sam's Club or somewhere. Really buy it in bulk with some stick matches or regular, lighters, and some things you can put in the trunk of your car because you'll need those in case of emergency. Be aware of that. Thank you, Kay.
No problem. Wildlife and nature awareness. Living with wildlife. Ooh. Depending on your location, you may encounter wildlife like deer, raccoons, foxes, or even larger animals like bears. Learn how to protect your property, livestock, and garden from the wildlife intrusion.
You know,
Groundhogs. Lord have
are they
mercy.
special? Ain't they special? Ain't they special? Learn how to protect yourself. Be aware of what's in your area. You can check with DNR and know what's in your area. Be aware, but make sure that you cut around your house and you have great clearance around your country property. So when you walk out the door, you don't have bushes right up on you. Some bite you on the kneecap. You want to make sure you have clarity so that you can see what's happening when you come in, when you're coming out on your property. And then when you're throwing your trash away, make sure that's in an area that's far enough away so you can see who's there and know there's no animals there. And then your compost bins where you're building up your compost, preparing compost for a fertilizer, whatever. Make sure that's far enough away from your house in case some animals or bears get interested in it, because compost heats up and that fragrance gets to going, and it's like aroma to some animals, not to us. But you want to make sure that's far enough away from your house so you're not threatened by it when you're going to use it. And make sure it's out in an area where you can view everything that's there. So make sure you cut around your house, know what animals and stuff are there, and just be aware of them. That's all. Have a clearance, have a nice clearance. Thanks, Kay.
Be aware of pests, mice, insects, and other pests may be more common in rural areas. Keep your home and outbuildings well maintained to prevent infestations.
Yep. Don't be
So I'm
afraid.
gonna say, oh, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead. I'm
go
gonna say
ahead.
it real quick. Don't be afraid when you get to the country if you got a lot of mice. It has nothing to do with you and you being yucky or all those kinds of things. You have field mice, especially if nobody's lived on that property, or even if you leave a camper sitting on a property for a while, you have what's called field mice and those things. They're going to come into something new because they can keep warm. Plus, they're going to seek new food. Because I remember we had a camper up there, and I go up there in the spot, I open up my cabinet there, and the mice looking at me like, "Can I help you?" I live here, it's occupied already. I'm like, really. We had a little battle there. You know, we won. The mice did, but that mice was not afraid of me or nothing. But we won that battle. But so don't be afraid of that. Knowing that when you're on the country property, you're gonna have field mice. So there's different ways, and we'll talk to you about that, how to treat for them. And you can use a service, you can use sticky traps. There's things you can spray around the land that they hate. They hate the strong smell of bleach and ammonia and mothballs, all those things. So be aware of that. And then the dryer sheets that you put in your dryer, they also hate that. So those are good to go into a lot of the drawers and areas around in areas you're not going to be in. Okay, so check your house out, make sure everything is sealed best you can. And you can store those dryer sheets on the cabinets and all the stuff like that. They don't like it. It's really uncomfortable for them. There you go.
Yep, and I was just going to add to that and say if you're just be aware when you're moving to a country property, because if you notice that you're going to move around a proper close to a property that bales hay, beware that every time they cut that hay, you will see mice. Also beware that in the wintertime, mice will be trying to come in to your home. So that's something that you're going to see mice more in the winter times than you would in the summertime because
And
they're
they don't
looking
use
for
the
the meat.
doorbell, okay? They don't knock. They don't
They
use the
don't.
doorbell. No. And then you can't give them a key. Their neck ain't big enough to hold it around their neck. So they just gangster. They just really come in. And then when they come in, Kay, I'll tell you another thing they do. They'll find your goodies. So be ready for them. I feed mine. Mine are special. I just feed them and take care of them. They don't feel well after a while, but they be gone.
Fire safety. If you're in a fire-prone area, take precautions like clearing dry brush, maintaining a defensible space around your home, and having a fire escape plan. Also, the same things that you're doing for fire safety, I just want to add that it's good to do these things anyway because they will reduce your amount of pests.
Yes, they do. And a good thing about fire is key. If you're used to burning trash, check with your neighbors in your area to see when can you burn safely without it being an issue. But then make sure there's not a lot of dry brush around because it's easy for fires to start. And then also make sure you have a way to put a fire out immediately. That's like immediately, but faster, immediately. Because you can go to burn your trash in a pit, or if you got a place where you go to dump, our place opens that we can dump our trash, opens at Tuesdays and Sabbath. So Sabbath, we don't dump trash. So it opens Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. Those kinds of things. So if you had a fire pit, a way to burn your trash or secure it, you can do that. But make sure you have a way to put it out in case of a fire. And then the biggest thing I tell people about country living with fires is carbon monoxide and fire detectors. You must have it. Last year, several families, I tell you guys this before on the news, in the same week, there was 2 different families that died, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, because they went to their country properties and they died of carbon monoxide poisoning. One was a family of 4, one was a family of 2, husband and wife. But they didn't renew their carbon monoxide, didn't have their batteries, didn't have the batteries and the carbon monoxide detector, those kinds of things. And buy extra carbon monoxide detectors. If you value your life, buy you 3 or 4 of those. And the same thing with fire detectors, and save those in the cabinet. And now Everready sells 10-year batteries. So you can literally buy batteries and put them on the shelves. And those batteries will be good for 10 years. And trust me when I tell you they're good for 10 years because I got a warehouse full. So if you guys do need batteries, you pay your own shipping. I can send y'all all the AA and AAA batteries you want. I really can, but you got to pay your own shipping. Batteries technically you can't mail. You probably have to pick them up. But we have a lot of batteries. I got a warehouse when we had our business, and we have once the 10-year batteries go down to where they're 8 years and 6-year batteries, they can't sell them as 10-year batteries anymore. So we get them. So just keep that in mind if you're ever in the area. Kevin, give me some batteries. But please store your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and extra batteries and rechargeables.
Connect with the local
Fire
community. Oh,
I'm sorry. And have fire extinguishers. We picked up an extra double pack. Have fire extinguishers. Thank you.
connect with the local community. Join local groups. Look for community events, farmers markets, or local clubs where you can meet people and share knowledge about country living. Many rural areas have a strong sense of community.
And you know why that's important, Kay? Because first of all, you're going to go out, everyone, and you're going to introduce yourself to the community that you knew there. Where are you going to learn the most from about the community? From the community, from those people. So
Exactly.
let them know who you are. They'll share so much with you that is unbelievable. And as they did with us, they shared so much. And then when we went to a whole new place, I'm taking the kids somewhere. My wife's working from home. I took the kids out, got to talking with a gentleman on the fairgrounds. He says, "We know you. We were just talking about you yesterday," because of ministry, of course. And so they welcome us. And then they start, we just take off from there. And you get so much resources and things God has just blessed us and open things up to us. So let the community know who you are, who you stand for, what you stand for, and what you don't stand for that matter. And God's going to bless you. But remember, the community, you're there to be a help to them. Let them know you are available for what they need. Thank you.
Contribute to local life. Country living often involves more direct interaction with neighbors and community organizations. Be ready to lend a hand during local events or emergencies. It can foster strong relationships.
Yes, it can, and it's appreciated. Anytime you see an event, like for instance, we make ourselves available. I make myself available. We make ourselves known to the police, to the fire department. This is who we are. This is what we do, and then to ministries that's around. This is we're there for comfort. We're there for help. If anybody want to study, we do that in the nursing homes, senior citizen places. Anybody need assistance with anything, we as ministry, the team is available. We pray for people. My wife, we're going to the library before we got internet on our country property, and we let them know who we were. I was able to show them 3 of my books that we had written, and we just let people know that who we are and where we are, that we're there to help people. And sure enough, I go into the hardware, hadn't been there in a while, and I asked the guy for a piece of paper. He says, "Yeah, you want me to, you can get this. They do ship to your property out where you are." He remembered me and knew where I was. So people know about you. Let them know what you do, what you're good at, because when they need your services, they'll call on you.
Plan for energy and water efficiency. Renewable energy options, solar panels, wind turbines, or small scale hydro systems can reduce reliance on traditional power sources and save on costs in the long run.
It does. Walmart, everybody, Walmart sells windmills. Look them up. Look it up on walmart.com, not in the store. Walmart.com. They sell windmills that you can get to go up to 1,200 volts or something, 1,200 amps. You can charge up things that can run, or watts and volts, amps. They got the regulators and those things on there, and you can actually store energy. You can buy larger ones. You can buy smaller ones. Walmart sells those. Then they also got roof mounts that can go on. You can buy this. Amazon has the single solar panel kits or the 4 to 6 solar panel kits, and you can buy and store them on top of your house, your camper, your garage, your barn. They'll store them right in the field in the open areas and store energy and backup energy. You have to consider those, and then get you as much battery or storage space as you can afford to buy, and you can increase a little bit at a time, because in the event of you have those resources. So you must consider energy efficiency, leave your lights off, those kinds of things. And then here's a good one that a lot of people miss. The solar lights you buy for outside for your walkway, buy those. Buy you some extra ones. Go to Dollar Tree, Dollar General, get some of those cheap ones too, and then get you some good ones and get you some real nice ones from the big box store. Let those charge inside during the day. At night, bring some of them inside, turn them upside down, and you got regular lights in your house without using your electricity. Solar lights in your house that charge during the day outside gives you light nighttime inside. Consider that. That's going to save you so much money on your electric bill, or you may not even have an electric bill. You can just get completely off grid. So we stocked up on those, and then you can stock up on solar chargers and solar batteries and lithium batteries, things that you can charge up. Lithium batteries last a long time. Be careful with those, they can blow up. They last a long time. So get you some good solar lighting and use that in the daytime and the nighttime.
Water conservation. In rural areas, water conservation can be crucial, especially if you're on a well. Implement rainwater harvesting systems and be mindful of water usage.
To do this, go to Amazon. Not go to Amazon. You can go to Amazon. You can get the rainwater barrel kits. So when you go on Amazon, get the rainwater barrel kits, and it shows you, and they'll sell them at your big box stores too. They're cheaper online, and they'll show you how to turn your barrels into rain barrels where you can catch water, and you can even filter that water and drink it. Especially if you add the life straw systems to that, you can filter that water and drink out of it. And you can stack 8 to 10 barrels on top of each other with PVC piping and fittings. And as the top barrel catches the rain, you got the gutters from your house coming right down into the rain barrels, or you catching it right out of the air, whatever. It'll start to fill up all the barrels. And then on the bottom barrels, you got spigots that you can actually turn that water on and run it anywhere you want, even right into your garden, right into farm You can run that right into your berry bushes with PC pipes and things like that. Okay, and then you can use gravity to build the pressure up, because as that hose run down and the water comes out the little spigot, take your PVC pipe, make it smaller, 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 smaller. The more pressure builds up, or that water shooting out at a distance without having any kind of energy other than the water itself. Water is so strong. If you do your research, look on YouTube, you'll see them using water to cut steel and to cut concrete because of the pressure they produce with that water. So water has a super duper destructive force. You can do a lot with water. So be wise. Grab all the water you can, get all you can, and can all you get. And you can get those blue barrels or those white barrels and do that with water. The 55-gallon drums, the metal ones rust, but the plastic ones don't. So you can get those and use those. Those are awesome.
Enjoy the natural beauty. Spend time outdoors, whether it's hiking, hunting, or simply taking a walk. Enjoy the fresh air and beauty of the countryside. It can be a great way to relieve stress and appreciate the simplicity of rural life.
A rural life. So don't forget, everybody, just really enjoy yourself. Enjoy what's there. Find trails. The house we have, the lady donated a full road that goes straight down to the end, right to the river. And then she donated a picnic shelter area there. So we can walk out one of our driveways. We have a big horseshoe driveway, go straight across the street, walk to the road till it ends. And that was donated by the home that we now acquired. And it's a beautiful place for you to put your kayaks in the water and just sit there and have lunch or dinner and just enjoy yourself. So our God is awesome. You can set things up in the rural areas the way you want to do it. You know, you're less checked on, it's less strenuous, and it's just relaxing.
Stargazing. Without the light pollution of cities, you can experience breathtaking night skies. Take advantage of this by stargazing and learning about constellations.
Do your little study, just have some fun. Not start worshiping. Start gazing. Enjoy the beautiful skies. I remember when first time I saw it was really, really, really dark, and I looked up into the sky, and the whole heavens was lit up with stars that you can literally distinctly make out. You know, the Little Dipper, the Big Dipper, all these things. It is beautiful because you got less city lights, so that you can see. The city lights makes it dark on you. Makes it hard for you to see into the skies because it kind of messes with your vision. Yep. So you want to go ahead and enjoy that. So when you get a really, 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 really dark night, security area, have your space. If you got a balcony in your house or a roof, or you can just come out into the yard. You're not worried about anything. You ain't worried about no bears coming to get you. And just take a look at the beautiful sky and look what God has to offer. It is just an awesome feeling. It is just an awesome feeling. Okay. And then
Final
my final thoughts.
thoughts.
Thank you, Kay. Go ahead. I'll let you read. Go ahead.
Okay, country life offers an opportunity for self reliance, tranquility, and connection with nature. It requires learning new skills and adapting to a slower pace, but it can be incredibly rewarding. Take the time to explore your land, engage with your community, and embrace the rhythm of rural living.
I am. First of all, thank you, Kay, for reading. That's chapter 1. The book is called Country Living, Just About Everything, Including God, More Than a Guidebook. It's available on Amazon. And I wanted, I foretold this book coming through the grace of God because I know we needed something to help our people. Ellen G. White had written so much beautiful things. And so I could, inspired by a lot of the stuff that she wrote, and it's just outstanding. And that's what helped get this going. And then my wife, with her input, was just outstanding. But just one day out of nowhere, God literally poured out into me 42 chapters at one time. That was literally the number. And I'm running around the house. My wife said, just sit down and write it all down. Just sit down and write it down. And it reminded me of Noah when God said, I want you to build an ark. And I'm like, build a who? Noah's like, build a what? Use pitch wood or gopher wood, make some pitch. And Noah's like, what is all that? And that's how it seemed. But, it came out, it materialized as the ark did. It didn't take 110 years. But this is an awesome book, and I thank God for it because it helped me to be able to help someone else. It helped us to be able to help someone else. And our team is proud of this book. We're proud to represent that to you. This is chapter 1. It's 42 chapters. Some chapters may take 2 readings, but we want to be able to go ahead and let everybody know what's available and how to do things. So at that point, with that being that, I want to thank Kay and Miranda. Miranda will be call me. Why you call me? For helping us read this. But anybody got any questions? Go ahead, get your hands up, unmute if you got some questions. Kay, if you can see them better than I can, you can go ahead. If you got any questions in the chat, anything anybody need to know, Don't forget, we got the series on grants. Episode 5 is still to come. Hopefully, I can get that out tomorrow. It's very big. It's awesome. And then we'll compile all the grants together, those kinds of things, so you guys can go through those. If you need a grant writer, you can go to healingproper.org. There is a link there to a grant writer. If you need grant assistance on how to find grants for anything you want to do, get with me and we can do that. So anybody got a question, go ahead, Kay, and read those for me if you can see them. Or if you see hands.
Tessine, I don't know, I guess that's how you pronounce it, has her hand raised.
Go ahead, Tessine. Go ahead, my sister.
Yes, thank you. This was very informative. You were going so fast, I didn't remember what you said about finding the sterno in bulk. You said
Absolutely.
you can find it somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. You can find it at Sam's Club, but you can find it at your big box stores. It's sternofluid, and you can get it in the case. And it may be cheaper to see for you to order that on. We got a Zoom coming up, by the way. You do know about that, right? I think it's Tuesday, one of them days.
Oh, yes.
Yes, ma'am. So you can find that in your big box stores, but you can also check online and compare price. And sometimes it's cheaper to get it online, but they come in bulk cases. And each one of those little sternofluid cans, you guys see them at weddings and at banquets. It keeps everything hot or warm. Those last 6 hours. Each can burns 6 hours. They serve several purposes. They keep the food warm, depends on the distance, or they can heat it up and make it boil if you move them in closer. They also give you a light at night, and they burn blue, but they also burn kind of clear, which means they're almost kind of little pure. But you can do that. So sternofluid is good to have in your car in the wintertime. Now, real quick, Cassina, if you want to do something to warm up your house with the candles that also burn a very, very, very long time. If you go on YouTube and you Google, they use the mason jars, and they use this fiber cloth, this black carbon fiber cloth, because carbon fiber is soft, almost like a thin scouring pad, but it doesn't burn up. It can burn and not be destroyed. And you can get that with denatured alcohol and copper pipes. And it shows you how to put those in a mason jar. And those are burned for days and heat the house up and keep you warm as well. Okay, so look that up on YouTube. I do have all those. And you're going to use what's called denatured alcohol because it burns bright white, because denatured alcohol is so pure, it burns bright white. You won't even know it's a flame unless you put a black background behind it or put your hand above it, and it heats your whole house up. And you can actually breathe that like a propane. It's even safer than propane for that matter in an enclosed environment. And you can make those candles with these mason jars with that in there. So that's on there with denatured alcohol, the carbon fiber cloth, your copper pipes, and your mason jars. It's going to show you how to drill holes in those, and you can make those. Those are great projects. I'm going to do that in one of our DIYs very soon.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sister, it's actually less expensive to get the sterno from the sterno burners from Sam's Club because it's $20.48 at Sam's Club. If you go online and get it from like Amazon or somewhere else, you're gonna pay between $25 and $30 for it. So you
Now,
save
shipping
about.
in
this
some
is
cases.
not the individual sternos, right? Because I checked Walmart and there's a really expensive. So this is
No, you don't
bulk
want to get
you're
them from
referring
Walmart.
to.
Yeah, no, this is they come in packs. They come in packs
Yeah, they
like
come
12
in
in a
packs
pack.
of 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Okay. And then I bought them in cases of 18 to 24. So I got the packs of 12. I got several of those. And then I got several of the cases. I got 18 or 24 in there as well. And then with that, I also bought stick matches and other things when we were buying particular things. And then get you some flint lighters as well. Flint sticks, flint lighters. Then they got the waterproof matches. I'm just throwing a lot of stuff out there now. But all this stuff is stuff you can really, really have. And then when you get to your country house, you can unpack all that stuff and put it in areas you can get to it, because now it's there. That's what you want it for. And then make sure you also have that kit in your car because you can save lives with that. We had a harsh winter one time, and I saw a lady walking down the road almost frozen solid. I literally had to put her in the car, get her warmed up, took her to the police station, that kind of thing. Yep, but you got
Wow.
something you can help people with as well.
Powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next, Kay?
Someone iPhone wrote those resources in a written list. I would need for iPhone to come off of mute and explain the question in the chat. I guess they're asking for, is there a written list of resources like the windmill?
Yes, there is. There is. You want it? Yeah, we did some things like that. My sister Kira did some things like that. KU did things like that. My book
Yes.
has things like that in it. Get the book Country Living. But on our website, there's some items on there as well. And then I'm planning something as well for, again, we're going to do every Thursday from now on, everybody. We won't be every other Thursday anymore. We'll do every Thursday because we're moving fast. We got a lot of resources. I'll make sure we get that kit for you. I'll be announcing some things. I'm trying to book a spot on Save to Serve. I'm book a spot. I got to get my representative in there. But I just put together a list, just what you're asking for, and this list has a lot of categories. I'll have that with me, and I'll do that list this very next Thursday. And it's key because it has several areas. It has several things. The 20 top things you need to be self-sustaining in the city if you're stuck in the city, and then the 20 top things you must have to help you get out of the city. The top 20 things you must do that you need when you get to the country. The top 20 things you need, and the top 20 things you must do immediately after you get to the country. So what you need to get there and what you need to do once you get there. So it's got like 40, 50, 60 different items on it. My wife read that the other day. She said, well, this is different. This is new. Because it includes everything. I'm sorry. And it also has the bartering list on there. Top 20, 30 things you need to barter with. And one of the things was a puppy. Dogs that make good barter pieces, but dogs are your first line of defense when you get a country property. When you do get your puppies, I would always suggest get more than one dog in the country. Get you 2 to 4 dogs if you can afford to. And your dogs can be vegans or vegetarians if you know how to make, take pumpkins and take various things and make them good food. They'll eat it. If that's all they eat, they don't taste blood, they don't taste meat, they're going to be like, okay, they know no different. And they'll be healthy from that. There's certain things you can give them with plants and all those other kind of things to help with the digestive system and all those things so they don't get kidney stones, gallstones, and all that kind of stuff. But put your dogs, the dog should be off to the side of your house, not in the front, not in the back. They should have an open view and a little run area that they can run in with a place they can go in and be warm. But they should have an open view of this, of the side and the front and the back of your house. And that's your first line of defense when something's going on. You hear 2, 3, 4 dogs getting out. It tells you something's going on. If you got motion sensor lights, solar lights that activate when something moves, those are good for your property. And then if you got cameras out as well, which you can get solar cameras now, those are good for your property because you can take your television. You don't watch television anymore, but that doesn't mean you can't monitor your property with solar cameras and the television. When those lights come up, you're looking on your TV, you be like, aha. And then you know not to go outside because there's Smokey the Bear and he's not trying to start a fire. So you know what to do, or not trying to put out a fire, I should say. But all that helps. But dogs are your first line of defense. Puppies are good bartering tools in addition to sugar, salt, tools, stuff, some coins. The Bible says silver and gold will be cast into the street. It won't do you any good. But right now, it's a good bargaining tool, a gold coin or a silver coin, bartering tool, so you can barter with something, okay? So keep that in mind. So I got a list. I'll get that list to you guys right away.
Sister Tessine had her hand.
Go ahead, Tessine.
Oh, I'm just taking advantage of this time.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in the country alone. What is the best recommendation that you have for security?
Dogs. Honestly, well, the first thing I would say is dogs. It will be dogs because, again, dogs are your first line of defense. And then because you're in the country alone, Tessine, it doesn't mean matter of fact, it gives you more a way to train your dogs the way you have them be. You can literally train dogs to recognize scent. You can train dogs to recognize sounds. You can train dogs to bark when you want them to bark. You can train dogs not to bark until they're ready to bite. I mean, you can train dogs to any word or whatever you want to say. So there's another sister that's on there that does dog training. And then there's a lot of information on YouTube of how you can do that and downloads and things that you can do. But the first line of defense, I would say, is dogs, because they'll wake you up in your sleep. Have you some outside, and if you feel the need or the urge to, you can have you 1 or 2 inside. They'll wake you up. They'll wake you up in the event of fire, but also motion sensor cameras and motion sensor lights. Because you can have the light turned toward your window. But the motion turned toward the driveway. If a person's coming in, where does the light go? It flashes through your window. You're like, whoa, is somebody coming? And it gives you a warning, that kind of thing, okay?
How do you feel about weapons?
I love them. Well, you should have them. I mean, I've heard people say that you don't need weapons. Ellen G. White writes about that you're not trusting God. I kind of disagree because they also write about weapons. You want to be prepared, and we have compound bows, crossbows, recurve bows. I've been to armory school for unit armory. I shoot. My children shoot. My 9-year-old been shooting since she was 4. She outshot my 2 sons. We got 2 sons in the military right now. I'm a collector. But I mean, Peter had a sword. Peter walked with Christ. Peter had a sword. Peter took the sword,
Right.
chopped off the centurion's ear. Christ picked it up and put it back on. He didn't say, Peter, don't bring your sword no more. He said, Peter, put that away. Peter, come on, stop, Peter. I can't take you nowhere. No, want to make you laugh. Want to make you laugh. But Peter had a sword. That was their weapon at that time. Okay, but that doesn't mean we're disrespectful with anything. Because Ellen G. White said something else that was so key. She said, even with Sunday law coming in, she said, you go out with your Bible, just like they say, but you going out and they see you Sunday, but what you're doing, you evangelizing. You don't go out and say, I'm a Sabbath keeper. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do on Sunday, so and so. No, God doesn't want to see your life wasted. So go out and take advantage of being able to evangelize with people and help people and heal people on Sunday. Do those things. Same way with weapons. Don't, just because you got weapons, you don't take them out and brandish them. I'm FDA, I'm doing all this. No, but you can protect your homestead. That's not
Okay.
murder. That's not murder. That's protecting
Right.
your homestead. That's the difference. Thou shalt not kill. Murder. You don't want to murder. You got God to contend with. No. But no, I do. Weapons. It's there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Train. Go to the range. One thing about country property that's so key. The gentleman I bought this house from told me this. Because he had an issue with the neighbor. He thought the neighbor moved the stakes over to claim some of our land. Because there was a road used to go through there, and it was split up between us and them, and it gave us 2 acres, and I guess it gave them 2 acres extra in the length. But he said, as soon as you get on the property, first thing you do is shoot. So I went and bought a metal trash can for a burn barrel, and I just pull out the 9mm and go pow, 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 and shoot my hole, because you have to drill holes in the burn barrel so that it could burn all the trash all the way down in there, and then so it doesn't hold water, so you can drain down. And so I just took the 9mm, pow, 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 and that was it. Everything was good. Then it was now up to like a few months ago, and this was over a year ago when I did that. What we just found out. I was talking to the neighbor's wife because they wouldn't answer the door the first time I went there, and I heard him coughing and everything. For a year I had an attitude with the guy. It wasn't until this year, a few weeks ago, the same time we were going up the road here, that I found out he was deaf.
Oh no.
My wife said, they're doing sign language. I said, oh, he is deaf, because I saw him reading my lips and he's reading his wife's lips. And he says, who is that? She said, it's your neighbor's next door. Come to find out he was hearing impaired. But he can read your lips when you're
Oh.
talking close with me. He understands everything. But I still turned on the 9mm. I flipped the switch.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Anyone else? So thank you all for your time. Let me know if anybody chimes, Kay, while I'm talking, and if you don't mind. But thank you all for your time. We wanted to go over chapter 1. We got 42 chapters. If you don't have the book, it's on Amazon. Again, it's Country Living, just about everything, including God, more than a guidebook. There's another book coming, it's called To the Country and Live. It's the sequel to this. And when I tell you it's so, and you thought chapter 1 was good, there's a lot more to go here. And then To the Country and Live is going to be so much more differently informative, that it's just cuckoo awesome with what's there. And then there's hundreds of DIYs. There's tons of the blue barrel things that you can make. You can make like 6 to 10 different kinds of toilets with the blue barrels. You can make septic tanks underground with the blue barrels. You can make chairs that you normally sit in. There's so many different kinds of chairs. You can make cars and wagons that you pull the kids in with the blue barrels, the water. So many things we can do with wood, and reuse tires and all kinds of things. So there's tons of DIYs. You get the full guides, the schematics, all those things with that. So there's so much more coming your way. So I just wanted to thank you guys for hanging in there. And, if anybody got any more questions, we're going to pray, and then we'll stick around just for a few minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Anybody? Question? No? Can we pray?
Just a suggestion for the lady who lives alone.
Yes.
Am I off mute?
You're off mute.
Okay,
I
good.
can hear you.
Okay. One thing we always learned is to put up a perimeter alarm that has like a blank shotgun shell, and if somebody trips over it, you'll hear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What she's talking about, that's military. I am Army strong, by the way. You got my, see my hat, see my hat.
Yeah, yeah.
But a perimeter alarm, which is key. And I'll tell you where a perimeter alarm works great for country property. Say you got the back 9 or the back acreage. You can get wiring now by the rows, by the spools, really, really cheap. And you get the thinnest wire possible. And, you know, put some nice, now I want to say bells or aluminum cans, but that's not all you got to put there. Remember, we talked about the solar cameras. If you put those bells on that tripwire she's talking about, instead of a shotgun shell, if you don't have the shotgun shell, a tripwire, put those bells and those things on there, some cling, 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 cling. Your motion camera also has audio. It's going to pick that up. That's going to register on your TV, your monitor that you always keep on in your house. So tripwire, just like she said, a lot of times it'll be a deer or something or a bear or whatever, but it'll at least alert you that there is an issue with coming up on behind you, you know, or in front of you. So wherever you want to put that at. So that is a great idea. Okay. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, God in heaven, we just thank you for this Zoom. Thank you for everyone here that participated. Thank you for our sisters that did the reading, that assisted us, God. Thank you for this book. God, we ask you forgive us for our sins and our transgressions. God, forgive us for our slothfulness. God, bless us with speed and endurance. God, encourage us. Help us, be it financial, be it resources, to get up and move, to get to the country so we can be self-sustaining and be one with you. By beholding, we become changed. Bless everyone here until we meet again. Keep us covered under your blood as we send these prayers up to our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ, in the most holy place of this heavenly sanctuary, our heavenly sanctuary, your heavenly sanctuary. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
That's the place. And he's interceding on our behalf. So he's coming back for us, y'all. He's telling us this. And we're seeing things move really, really, really fast.
Amen.
Remember, he said things shall be made, things shall be, they shall be made shorter for the elect's sake. And we should see things in rapid succession. We are seeing things now in rapid succession. So be aware and be ready. That being that, God bless you. If you have to go, you may do so. Other than that, anybody got any other questions or unmute or testimonies, anything real quick? Take a few more minutes.
Well, just
Kevin, there is one thing I want to bring up. I want to talk about the Tap Match app.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let me mute my button. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, we had a question earlier in the chat asking, saying that they want to network with someone. I just want everybody to know that the Tap Match app is back up. There is a fee for it.
Yes, yes.
It is $5.99. That's all per month. Just $5.99. So if you're looking
Per month,
to
per month,
network with
per month, per
someone,
month.
I put the link in the chat. Feel free to click on it and sign up. I'm gonna pass it over to Kevin.
So, let me unmute first. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's $5.99 per month. That was the absolute. A lady got on our case and she said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself as a ministry. All you ministries want to do is rip people off." And she didn't know our ministry because that's the last thing we do. If you look at our store, so much is free, it ain't funny, but that's the last thing we do. But that was the lowest price we can get it where it be self-sustaining, because we were spending $600 a month on that. We were spending a lot of money monthly that you guys never knew about because we didn't ask you guys that. We didn't challenge you that. And one thing we told you from the very beginning is we're going to try to keep it as free as possible, free as we can for as long as possible. And everything has issues and needs because it started to grow. But we had issues because it wasn't doing what it needed to do at the time. And then we needed it to support people better. So we had to do a little bit more. So it cost us. So at $5 and not $59 a month, not $19.95 a month, it's only $5.99 a month. And the one lady that snapped on us went on there and updated her profile and did everything, paid a little $5.99. It's not for us to make money. The money that we were paying that with was off book sales, people ordering my corn. Remember, we got that corn from the 1800s. I got a few pounds of that. And then consultations that we do with helping people. That's what was going to sustain that app for you all, because God put that on our heart to do. So it's $5.99 a month. And anytime you get what you need, you can unsubscribe, so you're not obligated to stay on there. But it's beneficial for you. It's just a blessing for you all. That's what it's for. So the Tap Match app 2.0 is now up and operating. And we also be able to put resources on it that you have, that you do, that you can help people with. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming. So be ready for it. Plus our school, healingproper.org. healingproper.org, Healing Proper Short Course Academy. That school will be opening in January, so you'll be knowing more about that in November and December as we still finalize some details that we have to get out. It's a short course academy. These are 6-week courses. You go to school 1 day a week for 2.5 hours, plus you get 3 days of homework. So you get a whole week to do all that homework and get all that back in. You go over all that. It is a 6-week course. You do have tests, you do have quizzes, you do have guest speakers. It covers all. We have 3 different courses for medical missionary. We have courses for wood electricians, mechanics, maintenance, nursing, food preparation, having your own food truck. These are all entrepreneurs inspired courses that comes with your own guides at the end of graduation. It gives you grant assistance, grant access. It gives you advertisement. You take part of your course and your curriculum is how to advertise and market yourself, how to reproduce yourself to get other people onto your business. That's all yours. This is not nobody's pyramid scheme, those kinds of things. It's A to Z on your own business. Matter of fact, you get a lot of A to Z's there to walk you through everything that you do. So you have full curriculums. We're going to have instructors courses as well. And again, we got over 80 curriculums, over 80 different classes, and that's steady growing. So it's healingproper.org. The site is up. All the courses are not there yet. We haven't put them all up yet till we finish all the curriculums. But there's so much coming. And the courses, I'll tell you right off the bat, your courses are $399. $399 full courses, certified, everything. We're registered with the state. We're national. So that's what we had to wait on, our national paperwork. That's all done. We're registered with the board. Everything is all done. With the patent office, all that's all done. So what a blessing. So Healing Proper Short Course Academy. Our emblem's back. We're proud of that. So you're going to be seeing a lot of that very shortly. And you'll be able to offer courses. And it teaches you how to be self-sustaining on your own. So healing through health, through wealth, and spirituality. So your spirit, your health, and your finances. All those areas are being covered. Healing Proper Short Course Academy. So thank you, guys. It'll be set up very shortly, but we're going to launch it in January, so I'll let you guys know about that. Anybody, any questions?
Christine?
Go ahead.
Yes, I was just curious as to whether you have all of your teachers for that training.
I do not yet have all the teachers for the training. As we finish all the curriculums, then we'll start. There's a course that the teachers have to take. There's a course that teachers have to take because they're going to learn all the curriculums. But the teacher's salary is just super duper awesome. But they're going to have to learn certain things you want to learn. And then there's a superintendent that's there. So the school has a lot. It's an online academy. And then there's even direction to get people to hands-on places as they need, as they develop. And then there's even advanced courses. So we will be advertising, marketing, and letting you know what the teachers piece looks like. Again, once we finalize all of that, I think the curriculum for the teachers is almost done as well because it develops at the same time all the other classes develop. But we're doing a special structure because the teachers are going to learn multiple courses at once, if that makes sense. So the teachers is going to be developed a little differently. And again, they'll have homework as well because they're learning multiple courses at once. The essential part of the course is the same as far as structure, break times, the syllabus and all of that. What's different is what they're going to be teaching, but it's laid out in detail for instruction for the teacher and then showing the teacher how to track students, all that kinds of things, and how to report up to superintendents so that they know how to carry on things. And in the event of teacher being absent, how a substitute can step right in. So we have a complete guide that walks you right through everything. Again, A to Z. You'll always hear me say A to Z like I do with the grants because I designed it like that so that you'll know where you left off and where you continue. How to grade, how to track all the students. I want to know which student is at the top of the number 1. I want to know which student is number 13. We want to know what students need help prior to week 4. We don't want to get all the way down to week 4 and find that out. We want to know at week 2 what's going on so we can help people. So I'll let you know about that.
How can I apply for that? How can I apply to be one of your teachers?
I will let you know that. That's going to also show up on the app, but I'm going to announce it here. It's going to show up on Healing Proper. But one thing you can do now, if you're interested in the teacher's course when it comes by sending your resume to info@therearepeople.org. info@therearepeople.org. And I'm going to jump the gun and say something I should not be saying. The teacher's courses are going to be higher And I give you that price now if you want it. But the teacher's course is going to be in a year is going to be a six-figure. It's projected to be a six-figure income. It just is, because the way these courses are structured, we're national, thanks to God, and what He gave us this. It's awesome. When we started filing paperwork and everything, we became national. We had to go through all the checks and services to make sure that it was us. Nobody else had it. All those things, we locked it all up. We're good to go. Our patents locked up. All that's good to go. So now we're national. A national academy. I'm so excited. And my wife did all the work. So be
Wow.
ready. So yes, send your resumes to info@therearepeople.org. You do not necessarily have to have teaching experience. It would be nice if you did. The curriculums are easy. If you can read and relate and talk with people, keep track of records, and do some homework, you'll be good to go. And it's going to pay for it. It's going to pay for it. It's going to pay for itself.
I taught at Three Angels Academy for a short time, so
Oh,
and I really
outstanding.
enjoyed it.
That's what's your name?
Tassine.
Oh, Tassine, really? You know I know that already. I thought you were somebody else. Thank you so much. Absolutely. But send your resume to info@therearepeople.org. Please do that. And then give us
Okay.
everything you've done. That's it. Just get the resumes in. Anybody that's interested. But the classes, well, you all know about the classes in advance. There's also going to be incentives for more people signing people up, just like you would with the military with the buddy project or buddy piece. There's also going to be advanced classes. There's also going to be job assistance. And there's something at the end of our course that we do that's going to be completely different. We're going to do something like Angie's List. And we'll put together a full bank, and we'll advertise that ourselves on national television, infomercial, social media, all those kinds of things that show we have people that can do resources, SDA or what have you, spirit-led people in various regions. So we'll do advertisement for you, and those calls you get, that's all your business. You go out and handle it. We'll just let you know what's available, or the public can choose you, okay? That kind of thing. And then we'll have advanced classes if you need to go further. Anything you need assistance with, you'll learn. We'll teach you how to market, advertise by using social media, designing your own flyers, brochures, banners, doing your own video production for commercials. There's a lot in your course that you get. It's already laid out for every minute, to include your breaks are already laid out, and it's really awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
So part of your 3 days of homework is going over what you had that week and then what's coming up the next week, so you always have insight on what you're going to be tested and quizzed on. So it's nothing going to be hid from you. Everything's going to be there. I want to see success across the. If I get that certificate, you'll get a success guide with that at the end, where it has your grant banks, all the grants that's for your business that you have, so you can qualify for to get those grants, assistance with how to launch your business, get it to the next phase, contracts, agreements, and sales papers, receipts on how to start with your customer base. All that's there. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we tried to find everything through the grace of God that's needed for a person to be successful with launching their own business. And people tell you it takes like 3 years before you can start making an income. The way this Short Course Academy is structured so that you don't have to spend a lot of money out of pocket. It shows you that you can spend very little or minute amount of money out of pocket and start to produce revenue right away. Because we give you guides that show you how to get out there, even if you got to go door to door passing out flyers. But we show you all the tricks and insights to marketing that saves you pennies. So you spend pennies instead of dollars. You spend pennies instead of dollars. Okay? That kind of thing. So God bless you all. If there's nothing else you guys need, God bless you all. Kay, am I missing anybody?
No. There's a question in the chat that's asks, how much would the teaching course cost? So they're going to be.
The instructor's course is $799. And I know it sounds like a lot, but let me tell you what you get for $799. And that'll be the only one that we do installments on. What you get is you get to learn, okay, up to 10 classes. You get to learn the full curriculum up to 10 classes. Now, learning those, you also get certificates in those. The benefit there is that's also showing you how to run and operate those 10 businesses and giving you the ins and outs complete curriculum for all those 10 businesses. So if you took that course and then had nothing else to do with me, you have your own business right off the bat. I'll say that again. If you took that course and you have nothing else to do with me, you have your own business right off the bat. But if you took that course and you're successful at it, as we know you will be, because you're going to get everything you should have, going to be tested a lot on things, then you can start making serious figures. And we'll do another class or a Zoom as we talk with the teachers on how the pay on that goes, how it generates. So that's kind of an in-house piece. We do NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. We do all those kinds of fun things. We do waivers and all those kinds of fun things, but you will enjoy every bit of it. It would be something awesome for you. Okay? Hello? Hello? Anything else? Anyone?
No, we're good. Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you all. God bless you all. Next Thursday we'll meet. Sunday I'm on at 3:30 a.m. with England. There's a Zoom going there. I don't think anybody gonna be on that. Any of you ought to be on there. But Sunday I'm on at 3:30 in the morning. I'll be in the UK via Zoom. And then I'll be putting out, hope to tomorrow, God permit time, I think we will be successful with that. I'll put out episode 5 of the grants. Please watch episode 5 and start with episode 1 and walk all the way through. And all those, every single episode I did, somebody on here qualifies for. So one key thing I'll give you, I don't know how many people's on here, but pay attention. Somebody asked me this question. They say, can a person that's on SSI or disability qualify for grants? Yes, absolutely. And I thought that was a good question. Somebody on what's our other the other chat? Kay, what's the other chat we use that you guys WhatsApp. Someone on WhatsApp asked me that. Can someone on SSI or disabled apply for grants? Absolutely. In fact, the government has assistance, disability assistance, with helping you apply for grants and helping you run the business. And if you're only making a little bit amount of money that's not affecting what they give you, you'll continue to receive your SSI. But once you achieve and overcome and start making, $10,000, $100,000, a year and all that kind of stuff, then you lose your disability insurance, which is okay because now you're making $100,000, $200,000 a year. So yes, I encourage anyone that's on disability to apply for grants. And you don't have to be able to walk or sing to apply for a grant. If you can just talk and tell people what to do, you qualify for a grant. If you can point and direct, you qualify for a grant. So watch every single episode and get in where you fit in, because a lot of things now that they have money for, a lot of it is virtual. If you can help people, and a lot of it is educational. If you can do things educational to help people with schools and businesses and keep youths out of jail or give them a place to go or do housing, urban or rural areas, being in the country, there's a lot of money available for rural areas. That's so key right now. That's in abundance. So consider those things and be blessed that way. So anything you guys need, reach out and I got insight for you. God bless. Okay, I'm gonna have to say good night now because my wife giving me the finger. Like, shh, 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 shh. So she's telling me, cut it out. Okay.